It's the Andy Griffith Show, facts and trivia, with your host, Bob Snap.
Guys, welcome to the Andy Griffith Show, facts and trivia. Appreciate you stopping by. Today's video is on my favorite bluegrass band, the Dillards, and how the Dillards went from Mayberry's darlings to progressive bluegrass pioneers. Okay. 1963, rising bluegrass band the Dillards made their first appearance on the number 5 television show in America, the Andy Griffith Show. It was the best exposure a band could ask for, and the roles weren't exactly a stretch. Brothers Doug and Rodney Dillard played members of the family band performing hillbilly music. They were called the Darlings, but the picking and harmonies were all the Dillards, and America loved them. The Darlings made just 6 appearances on the Andy Griffith Show during the program's 8-year run, but the family made a lasting impression on viewers, along with Floyd the Barber and lovable rock-throwing backwoods scamp Ernest T. Bass. The Darlings were fan favorites. Joined by their jug-playing patriarch Briscoe Darling and angel-voiced sister Charlene, the boys brought mountain music into homes where it would otherwise not be heard. Bluegrass music was already making its mark on television viewers by way of Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs, the Ballad of Jed Clampett, which could be heard blasting from television sets across the country as a theme song for the Beverly Hillbillies. But the Darlings were the only bluegrass band making regular appearances on screen in the early 60s. The family was part of Mayberry's story, and they made mountain music part of the story, too. Family jam sessions were a landmark of the Andy Griffith Show. Andy Griffith had already showed off his singing chops years earlier as Larry Lonesome Rhodes, a charismatic performer bent on political power, and Eliza Kazan's a face in the crowd. Griffith continued to perform on screen as Andy Taylor, performing several traditional American folk songs and hymnals during the show's run. The Darlings were the heart of the music of Mayberry. Hailing from Appalachian Mountains, the fictional family band brought bluegrass to suburbia. A typical scene plays out in the clip that you can look up on YouTube, where Briscoe Darling asks, "You bring your stringing instrument, Sheriff?" Andy and the boys launch into their dually. I love that song. A song about the moonshiner with a very devoted following is said to be written about a man the Dillard brothers knew growing up in the Ozark Mountain region of Missouri. The Darlings showed their softer side with the gorgeous "There Is a Time," letting Charlene take the reins on vocals. Over various appearances on the Andy Griffith Show, the Dillards performed original songs such as Evo Walker and traditional American folk songs such as Boil Them Cabbage Down and Shady Grove, introducing the songs to a whole new audience. They're also famous for performing authors Guitar Boogie Smith's feuding banjos, or dueling banjos, on a 1963 episode of the show called Briscoe Declares for Aunt Bee. Doug and Rodney Dillard were born in Salem, Missouri, in the Ozarks, a hotbed of bluegrass music and the setting for the 1950s country music variety show Ozark Jubilee. The brothers grew up listening to fiddler, folk singer, songwriter, and newgrass pioneer John Hartford, who played fiddle with their father. Doug played the banjo, and while Rodney played guitar. Joined by Dean Webb on mandolin and Mitch Jane on upright bass, the Dillards released a string of albums in the 60s, including Back Porch Bluegrass and Wheat Straw Sweet, on Elektra Records, which marked their move from traditional bluegrass to a more contemporary sound. The transition helped pave the way for younger musicians and their peers who would soon experiment in blending country, rock, and folk music to create a new sound and genre. The band has included many other members over the years, including Dewey Martin, John Humphreys, Herb Peterson, and Byron Berlin. Excuse me. Dillards are recognized as one of the first bluegrass bands to electrify their instruments in the 1960s. They helped give birth to progressive bluegrass, as well as breezy California rock of the Eagles and the country rock of the Flying Burrito Brothers. Chris Hillman of the Byrds and the Flying Burrito Brothers has been vocal about the profound impact the Dillards had on the anti-Nashville country rock movement. When they hit town, they completely blew everyone away, Hillman told the Los Angeles Times in 2012. Dillards were also widely respected studio musicians. Doug Dillard played banjo on Glenn Campbell's recording of his old friend John Hartford's Gentle on My Mind, which earned 4 Grammy Awards in '68. They even toured with Elton John in the mid-1970s in support of their Elektra albums Copperfields. The group has also been inducted into the Bluegrass Music Hall of Fame. Though Doug Dillard left the band in the early 70s, the folk rock group continued to make strides in 1972's Roots and Branches. The album spawned the only Dillard single to chart on the Billboard Hot 100, 1 a.m. The original Dillard brothers toured together again in later years until Doug passed away in 2012. Rodney Dillard continues to perform as part of the Dillards. He was sometimes with Maggie Peterson, who sadly passed away. Even though the beloved sheriff and deputy have retired and the town barber has closed its doors for good, the music of Mayberry will live on forever. And especially now, I was telling everybody I was on live yesterday here on the YouTube channel, and I got my CD autographed by Rodney of songs that made Charlene cry. That's great CD, man. It's all the titles you ever heard on the Andy Griffith Show that didn't actually have a song to it, like Toe Sack Full of Love and Don't Hitch Grandma with a Great Big Stick. Well, they wrote the songs to it. And honestly, I think in order to really enjoy it, you got to be an Andy Griffith Show fan, and you will get a kick out of it. Trust me. I laughed. My wife just kind of looked at me like, what? Because she's Filipino and, doesn't really understand. My son loves Andy Griffith, and he loves the music as well. And the Dillards are just so awesomely cool, man. I was great band. I can't say enough about how great that band was. All I got for you here, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I ask that you please check out Classic Rural Comedies, Facts and Trivia. It is on Buddy Ebsen, and he explained the downsides of playing a rural character. The Classic TV Facts and Trivia is on Alan Alda, who once used his MASH knowledge to impress a doctor who was about to perform surgery on him. As rock and country music facts and trivia, did Jerry Lee Lewis have anything to do with two of his wife's deaths? Pretty wild. Faith Entertainment, The Chosen's actress Elizabeth Tabish talks season 4 and her own personal faith journey. This is really good. And I warn you, though, if you haven't seen season 4 of The Chosen, there's going to be some spoilers. Sorry. You need to watch The Chosen, guys. Please subscribe if you have not yet. Please like this video. You guys have a great day. God bless you, and I am praying for you.